On February 11, 1858, 14-year-old Bernadette Soubirous set out with her sister and a friend to gather firewood near the grotto in Lourdes, France. Bernadette suddenly felt a rush of wind. When she looked up, she saw a luminous lady holding a rosary of white beads on a golden chain, wearing a flowing white robe with a blue sash and a veil over her head. This was the first of 18 visits from Our Lady to Bernadette, a series of encounters that would change her life and touch millions around the world. Here are 6 fascinating facts about Our Lady of Lourdes. During the first apparition of Our Lady, Bernadette fell to her knees to pray the rosary and attempted to make the sign of the cross. Her arms suddenly became paralyzed. It was only after the lady made the sign of the cross herself that Bernadette was able to do the same. Then they prayed the rosary together. This encounter highlighted the importance of the sign of the cross, as it marked the beginning and end of each apparition. On a chilly Friday morning, during the 4th apparition, Bernadette arrived at the grotto with her mother, Aunt Bernard, and 10 others, each carrying a candle for protection. During the vision, the lady requested Bernadette to leave her candle at the grotto. At the 5th apparition, Bernadette later shared that the lady had taught her a prayer, one so special that she recited it every day for the rest of her life. But she never wrote it down or told anyone what it was, keeping it as a secret between her and the lady. One day, the lady gave Bernadette a clear message. "Go, tell the priest to come here in procession and build a chapel." Excited, Bernadette rushed to tell Father Paramou, but he didn't believe her. But Bernadette didn't give up. She went back, this time with one of the priest's friends, and repeated the lady's request. Then more firmly he added, "Ask this lady her name. When we know it, then we'll see." For days Bernadette asked, but the lady only smiled. Finally, at the 16th apparition, the lady revealed her identity. "I am the Immaculate Conception." At the 9th apparition, a crowd of 300 gathered at the grotto. The lady told Bernadette to drink from the grotto, but when she saw no water, she hesitated. The lady then pointed to a spot below the grotto, and Bernadette began digging with her hands. At first, only muddy water appeared, but trusting the lady, she drank from it. The next day, a clear spring began to flow from that very spot. A few apparitions later, Catherine Latopi, a desperate mother, brought her baby to the spring. His arm was paralyzed, and with hope in her heart, she dipped him into the water. Miraculously, he regained full movement, marking the first officially recognized cure at Lourdes. By the time of the 17th apparition, town physician Dr. Pierre had been closely observing Bernadette. Though skeptical at first, he believed she was sincere and that Bernadette was perfectly sane. That morning, around 5 a.m., Bernadette fell into a deep trance-like state during the apparition, more intensely than usual. While praying with her rosary, she held a large lit candle in her right hand. At one point, she clasped both hands together in prayer, and the candle's flame passed directly between her fingers, and incredibly, her skin showed no signs of burns. After the apparition ended, Dr. Pierre immediately examined her hands. To test what had happened, he relit the candle and briefly held it under her hand. This time, Bernadette quickly pulled away, exclaiming, "You are burning me." After the Marian apparitions, Bernadette Soubirous joined the Sisters of Charity, dedicating her life to prayer and caring for the sick despite enduring chronic illness. She passed away on April 16, 1879, at age 34 from tuberculosis. As part of the canonization process, her body was exhumed 3 times, first in 1909, then in 1919, and finally in 1925. Each time, it was found remarkably intact, showing no signs of decay. Her remains were later placed in a glass reliquary in the chapel of St. Gildard, where she continues to be venerated. On December 8, 1933, Pope Pius XI officially canonized Bernadette as a saint, recognizing her deep faith and the extraordinary events at Lourdes. Today, Saint Bernadette's legacy endures, inspiring millions of pilgrims who visit Lourdes in search of healing and spiritual renewal. Our Lady of Lourdes remains a symbol of faith, healing, and hope. Her message of prayer, penance, and trust in God continues to inspire, offering comfort and strength to the faithful. Through her intercession, the legacy of Lourdes endures as a beacon of grace and devotion.